where there's tons of servers works. Okay, so if that is what your business has, and you think that by making Paul in accounting just go through with a can of duster and some Bounty paper towels is going to do the trick, guess again. You're going to fry that stuff because things that you can't see are building up inside of those servers. Kablooey! There goes the hard drive. Everybody's pissed off. Your business comes to a screeching halt. You got to have this stuff taken care of in today's business world. Green Clean Technologies, 989-560-7272. Meanwhile, the Open also brought to you by the Kent County Health Department. Make sure you cough in that elbow, social distance, wear the mask when you go outside unless you're an asshole, and keep yourselves safe. West Michigan has been able to flatten the curve because West Michigan is awesome. Well done. And we'll continue to put those rules in place to make sure that everybody stays healthy. The last thing you want is for yourself to be sick and contagious and you don't even know it. And then you transmit that illness to some poor old dude who's just trying to walk a couple laps around the track, for God's sake. 616-632-7200 for the Kent County Health Department. More information with that number on their WIC program because as everybody's still trying to get back to work, you might be a little short on cash. You can get set up with that WIC card and get yourself all of the food that you need, WIC-approved food like bread, milk, eggs, cheese, cereals. 616-632-7200 for the Kent County Health Department. All right, we got that out of the way. You know that the podcast is alive and kicking. So, on your mark, get set, go!
And now, here's a guy who has never won a congeniality award at any radio station, anywhere.
I will fight you in the street.
It's the Eric Zane Show podcast with your host, Eric Zane.
Well, thank you, Johnny. Welcome into the Eric Zane Show podcast. As you know, this is a expletive-filled, boy, I struggle with that every time, expletive-filled rant discussing news, nonsense, and my personal stories. Hold on, that music is not loud enough. I love that guitar riff so much. I need it louder. In the studio behind me, you see the Godin Flat 5 hollow body guitar that I don't know how to play. What is up, folks? Here we go. Another day of podcasting. I think this is, I don't know. I kind of lose track of the number 350-something of podcasts. Thanks again for being part of it and making sure that this podcast is populated by you. Right now, we got a lot of people watching on Facebook Live. If you're a person who listens to the recorded version, the downloadable audio, if you ever want to participate live, that's one of several places you can get at Facebook. Facebook.com/Eric Zane fan page, brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair Grand Rapids Hybrid. They are part of the Open because they're involved in this storyline that I've been talking to you about for some time with the car. And, you know, it's oftentimes when I go back in my own brain about the how these story threads take place, it's remarkable. This one with Jackie's car, this story thread just started because I was changing the winter tires, taking the winter tires off and putting the car tires on, or the all seasons on. And then, you know, I decided to check the oil. It was way low. Of the 5 quarts or so it takes, it needed 3.5 quarts. My God. All right. And then so I put that in. Jackie says, well, do I still need to get the oil changed even though you just put in 3.5 quarts? I go, yeah, you still need to get it changed. Jesus. I think she knows how to check oil now. But now she doesn't have a car. What? Okay, so while checking the oil, or getting the oil change, a guy who changed the oil said, hey, man, this thing's in rough shape. Shouldn't even be on the road. This is a bad deal. And me, you know, I was like, well, all right, take it down from the lift. We're going to can you get it to Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid? She's like, oh yeah, sure. But the guy's like, I don't know, man. This is not a safe car. Plus the brakes are a disaster. Bad news. Got it to Irvine's. Bruce over at Irvine's like, yeah, dude, he's right. The other guy's right. This thing is it's a mess. It's gonna take $2,400 to get this thing in running order. And that's what the other guy said, too. So everybody was being, of course, everything all lined up. So now this is an 06. I think it's got more than 100,000 miles on it. And the bumpers smashed on the back. The bumpers cracked on the front. So, you can't get much for this car. So I'm not going to sink in any money into the car. For the money that we would sink into the car, you could just get a newer car. I mean, you can get a decent car for $2,500, $2,500 to $3,000. So, all right, we make the decision. Don't fix the car. I don't know what we're gonna do with the car. As of yesterday, I didn't know what I was gonna do with the car. My God. So, all right. Yesterday I do the podcast, and Jackie goes over to Irvine's to get her stuff out of the car. Now she has no car. Like I said, we're car heavy right now because nobody's driving. She can borrow one. And the plan was for her to save her cash, and it is still that plan. Save her cash and get a Dave Ramsey car. I'm so happy that she listened to me. Well, as of right now, she's listened to me. Hell, I might turn around and she pulls up in like a freaking Mercedes-Benz utility vehicle, SUV. So, that's good. She calls me from Irvine. She says, yeah, I'm cleaning out the car. They want to know when you're going to come get it. I go, I don't know. I have no idea. I haven't even gotten that far. Let me finish up here. This is yesterday, and I'll figure it out. I don't want to drive the car. I call up my trusty AAA towing. You pay that deal. They give you a card. And, it's like an insurance policy for towing. You pay them every year. If you get in the weeds, they'll come get your car and tow it wherever you want. Awesome. So I call them up. It's a pain in the ass right from the get-go because, you have to listen to 800 advertisements when the phone picks up. And just to all you want to do is press 1 to get to somebody who can pick up the phone and say, yeah, okay, here's where the car is. Go get it. And that's it. Young lady picks it up. And I am very patient. I was still very patient with her throughout this whole thing, but it did go poorly. Because I spent 10 minutes given all this freaking information. And she goes, oh, and Mr. Z, we have great news. I go, oh, yeah? Well, give me some great news. I could use some great news because this car has been driving me crazy. You get, with this, 5 free miles of towing. And then after that, every mile after is just $6 a mile. So you will owe you will owe the towing company just over $70 only when you get your vehicle dropped off at your house. I'm like, what are you talking about? That isn't how this works. I've been with you for about 20 years, and how it goes is I pay you every year, and then in the unlikely event that I need my car towed, I call you, you get it, and bring it to wherever I tell you to go. That's it. Oh, yeah, well, the plan you have, so what they've done is they've basically raised the price and made it so that if you did want that type of service, you would have had to have paid 5 times the amount. Well, I've just paid for the same thing. Like I said, for 20 years I've been doing this. I go, so why do I even have this? I pay you this amount of money every year to get 5 miles of fucking towing? Well, yeah, but you see, with your membership, you get 10% off pies at Baker's Square. And, if you go to Good Sam RV repair, whatever the fuck it is, you get 5% off that. And if you buy a mobile home from Frank's Mobile Homes, you get 1% savings off that. Oh, and then if you're 65 or over, you add an additional 0.5% of Stan's Licorice Emporium. So, I mean, here you go. This sucks tons of dick. Are you serious? So I'm like, well, wait a minute. Now no. I go cancel the tow. I'll come up with a different plan. I'm not going to pay some towing company. And nobody's getting any more money out of me with this shit. So basically, I'm here to tell you that AAA sucks shit. And if you do have AAA, make sure you know what you got, because they've done a fucking bait and switch on you. Now it's like, oh yeah, well, if you pay for the premier plan, which is $45,000 a year, you can get free towing. There's nothing fucking free about this piece of shit thing. So I'm like, fuck it. I go, you know what? And I wasn't this abusive. I wasn't abusive at all to her. I'm abusive now because now's the time to be abusive. But I wanted to be abusive to her, but she's just doing her job. And she sounded like she's about 22. So I'm like, wait, what? No, that's not. No, cancel the whole thing. In fact, cancel the membership. Well, we can't. You have it till May. So that means I can get like 5% off pies at Baker's Square, or not May, till next March. You get 5%. I'm gonna get the discount, and then it's gonna automatically cancel. But great. What a waste of time and energy. Make sure you know what you got with that shit. What a crock. So then I politely was like, okay, thank you, goodbye. Don't worry, I wasn't mean to anybody. So that was it. And I go, well, now what? And the car is still there. But so I called up. I basically called them up, and I said, I'm going to roll the dice. Irvine's is like, oh, boy, I don't know, man. They don't want me to hurt myself in any way, shape, or form. So let me just say that it was against their wishes. This was against their wishes. They would not want me to drive this car. And so I'm driving slow the distance from home to or from Irvine's home. I'm like, oh, God, now what am I going to do? I'm going to have this piece of shit car parked in the driveway. And then I open up my email, and there's a listener. Who was it? Was it Kevin? Listener Kevin reaches out to me, and he says, hey, man, I think I want that car. And I'm like, well, shit. There's no way this guy is going to want this car. And, yeah, it was Kevin. And he goes, hey, Eric, if you're going to junk that car, I'll pay you scrap price and tow it home. I'm a mechanic by trade, and I need a beater. He says if it just needs a couple things here and there, suspension work, I can fix it up no problem and keep that thing on the road. So there you go. I need a beater car. So I reach out to him, and I go, all right, man. Here he goes, tell me what's wrong with it. And I reach over in the seat, and I got the what they found out wrong. I go, well, the tie rods are gone. It needs front brakes. It needs pads and rotors. And on the rear, it needs pads and rotors, and it might need calipers too. So that's a big cost if you were to pay for it. He goes, well, obviously I'm not going to charge myself labor. So, all right, what do you want for it? And I go, $1,000 and I'll throw in the snow tires. He goes, $800. I go, sold. Come get it. So Kevin's getting back on his feet. It's done just like that, lickety split. So I went from fucking outhouse to the penthouse just like that. So Kevin's going to come get the damn sled and get that thing out of here. And Jackie now has $800 going to a new car. Well, new used car. Perfect. It worked out just like that. Oh, my God. So what the hell, I guess. But because I looked up in 06 Milan. And in 06 Milan, Premier, it is a Premier. And I said to him, I go, and Kevin, you need to know, man, I was down 3.5 quarts oil. He goes, don't worry about it. It's fine for what I'm going to use this car for. Now, I don't know if he's going to go four-wheeling in the damn thing or what, but I think he's going to be happy with the car. Despite the damage, no doubt, to the motor, the years taken off of it, the miles taken off of it by being down a whole 3.5 quarts of oil. And there, by the way, Kevin, there's an oil leak in it too, but I think you know that. So, all right. I think that the car can run a long time. I really do. Hopefully, I want to keep tabs on the car. Make sure he gets his money, out of the damn thing. So, all right. Car is gone. A lot more to get to on the podcast. First of all, I got this story about, how it's like the second time now that we can turn towards the elderly to try to help us through COVID-19. This story, I've had it for the past few days, but I have not been able to get to it. And we have another World War II veteran who is raising money, let's see, for an organization. I'll get to it in a second. But anyway, this old-timer in Portland, Oregon, World War II vet, similar to me. Remember the other guy that we had in England who, what was he, lieutenant or corporal or Major Tom or something like that, ground control to Major Tom, some 100-year-old dude decided to walk around his backyard. And the goal was to just raise some money for first responders or people that are in the front lines fighting the pandemic. And, the story took off, and before you know it, he'd raised like $37 million. And I'm like, my God, what? I think he wanted to raise like $100 when he started, and it caught on fire. And now these women are throwing tons of poon at him, and he's been laying pipe. He's been, I think the Queen made him like the King of England or something like that, and they like knighted him, and everybody he was on a song, a #1 hit song, and this has just been turning up everything fantastic about this story. Well, here's what happens. A guy in Portland, Oregon is trying the same thing. Bud Lewis is a World War II veteran. That just sounds like a name you'd have for an ass-kicking World War II veteran. Bud Lewis. He is attempting, this is 100 laps around the track at the local park. So it's typical 400. Quarter mile. He wants to walk 100 laps by his 100th birthday. And Bud started it on May 12th. And his birthday is August 8th. So just under 100 days, Bud would have to walk like one lap plus a few steps every day to hit the mark. So, I mean, he's going to do it. Well, I don't know if he's going to do it. I mean, he's you got to understand, Bud is 99. He'll be 100 August 8th. And Bud's got a walker. And I am envisioning my mother at 83 years old and how she ambulates with a walker. And Bud reminds me of my mother. And I'm like, fuck, man, when are we going to give our old timers a break and talk these people out of this? Because a couple problems. Bud being that he's number 2 of the 100-year-old group of athletes who is doing this, is not getting near the amount of pub as the other guy. In fact, I need to look this up. Bud Lewis. How much money has this guy raised? And I'll get into who he's raising it for. It's an organization called the Sunshine Division, which is an organization that helps feed people in and around his area of Portland, Oregon, and he's been involved in this group since like the 1960s. So every day at 11 a.m., Bud is found at the park walking 1 lap per day, sometimes more if he's up to it, until he reaches this goal of 100 laps by his 100th birthday. Let's see. All right, definitely not enough money. He wants to raise $100,000. As of right now, he's raised $10,837 from 76 donors. Now, I mean, here you got the guy overseas in England who, hell, he goes to one side of his backyard to the other, and he gets $1 million just for that. And then you got Bud here, who might even be older, No, actually, he's just a little bit younger. He's trying to turn 100 while walking it, and he's walking way more, and Bud hasn't earned shit as of this point, and that is very, very disappointing and not okay. All he wants to do is raise $100,000, and in fact, I don't even think it's gone up much at all. So this is way weird. So maybe the other guy stole all his thunder. It could be. And Bud, again, why the hell do we have to rely on these sweet elderly people to do this? This is a clip of Bud Lewis talking about his walking for charity.
My name is Bud Lewis. I'm running at least 100 laps for the Sunshine Division, which is a love of my life.
He's going to walk/run 100 laps before his 100th birthday on August 8th of this year.
Run is a stretch.
Yes, it is a stretch. Bud isn't running anywhere. And so it kind of bums me out that the other guy did it. Now this guy, he's not getting shit for it. This needs to catch fire too. So I'll link it up, and maybe if you'd be so inclined, it is a nonprofit near and dear to Bud's heart. For nearly 100 years, it's provided emergency food and clothing to families and individuals in need throughout his community. If this thing can take off, I imagine that the money would go well beyond Portland, Oregon. But if you think about it, if you really wanted to amp it up, you could get these two together, like the old-timer, fly him in from England and have him team up with Bud, and perhaps they could race. A pay-per-view might be interesting, or perhaps, I don't know, some type of fight or paintball. There you go. Paintball war between Bud and the other guy. It bums me out that I've forgotten his name because I think I spent considerable time talking about the guy. But you know me, I forget all the time. Good on you, Bud Lewis, 100 years old, 100 years young, walking for charity. But we need to stop making our elderly work so hard. The open of the Eric St. Joe podcast is brought to you by A&E Heating and Cooling. The Comfort Maker, air conditioning and heating. Comfort with confidence. That's what Joe Martinez is doing. He's installing their great equipment into all of the jobs. Now, whether you need a new air conditioner, a new furnace, whatever it may be, you need to call on A&E Heating and Cooling. Number one in West Michigan, number one in my book. He's the guy that brought us Forbidden Spanish. 616-516-8579. I keep hearing words on the street that I think Joe is coming over today actually to tune up the air conditioning. And with sidewalk chalk, he might be caught writing Forbidden Spanish on the driveway.
Tu madre es una puta.
No, don't say your mother's a whore on the driveway.
Vete a la chingada, cabrón.
Whatever that is, it's go fuck yourself.
Come mis nalgas cuando yo estoy cagando, cabrón.
616-516-8579. Joe Martinez says,
Comes chingo de cagada.
Eat tons of shit with A&E Heating and Cooling. All right. Meanwhile, the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Give them a call at 231-332-6505. Working hard for you. First-time mortgage. Maybe you need a refi. Maybe you're just looking to move on from the person who gave you your last mortgage. You want to call on the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. 231-332-6505. Thank you for being part of the Eric St. Joe podcast. Okay. Yesterday, I posted that I'm hosting an Ask Me Anything, and I'm opening it up on Patreon for everyone. And what that means is I'm doing a free Patreon on Thursday for Ask Me Anything. And I post the way I'm doing it, it's a little different this time. I'm having you ask the questions on Facebook. And boy, talk about the message not getting, either the message did not get through or no one gives a shit. And I'm starting to think no one gives a shit. But here it is. It's a Patreon for everyone. And you don't need to be subscribed to Patreon or anything. Just on my YouTube is where the free Patreon will be. And but if you do happen to go to the Patreon, you can click on it. So that's one way you can get it. Or on YouTube. What the fuck is going on here? Oh, no, not this again. Shit! Well, I'm planning it. And I posted it. I pinned it to the top of Facebook. So the idea is you ask me anything, and then I answer it. So I wrote it out like this. I'm planning a free Patreon. Ask me anything for Thursday, May 21st at 11 a.m. Leave your questions here. Ask away about whatever you want. I'll do my best to answer all of your questions about me, the show, past shows, past relationships, even my points of view on any topic you choose. Thanks in advance. As of right now, one question, has rolled in. So maybe it's jumped the shark on Ask Me Anything. I'm not sure if it has. Then I'll just punt if that is the case. But if you would be so inclined, think about it and leave a question in the comments of my Facebook post. Ask me anything. All right, that will be on Thursday. The great state of Michigan is starting to open up. Governor Whitmer, some of you refer to her as Queen Whitmer, or I think some of you have called her Whitler. You're combining Hitler and her name, which actually is pretty clever. The images of her with like a Hitler stash and all of the various clownings that have taken place, she doesn't give a shit about, and has just continued to try to do the right thing and open the state up accordingly. There is a wide chasm between normal wise people like me and you dipshits that think that she's doing it because she wants to hurt you, which is just one of the dumbest things I've ever heard of. I love you and thank you for your support, but it really bums me out that you can be so dumb in your point of view about this. But it is what it is. Now, the northern parts of Michigan, the Upper Peninsula and 17 counties in northern Michigan have started to open up. Restaurants and bars are open. You can open up at 50% capacity. Stay away. All right, good to go. No problem there. She's also saying if you don't have to go, don't go. And she's actually saying if you do go, be smart about it. So I'm going to segue this into, because I know at least one of you, Joe Morin, is like, boy, Zane going up north, is that hypocritical? Boy, he travels a lot. Yeah, I'm following the rules. What are you talking about? Joe is giving me the business about this. Look, first of all, I'm going up to a place as of, before you could travel from place to place. Just so happens I've got a getaway place, the Fear Bunker North. And I get up there. I touch one gas pump to get gas in Cadillac. I get back in the vehicle, and then I go up north. That's it. My hands are sanitized, and then I stop at the grocery store. I shop there. I pump some money into that local economy when I head over to Glenn's or Family Fair, whatever the fuck it's called, in Grayling, and then I go right to my place, and that's it. I stay there for that time. So, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm doing it smart, so I don't want to hear anything about Zane, you're a damn hypocrite. I might have to fight you, Joe Morin, in the street. Which, by the way, Joe, you might be, I know Joe is probably the strongest runner of the entire audience. For the, 50 or 60 of you that actually listen to the show, Morin is hands down the strongest runner of the group. I don't know. There might be one or two others, but Joe is really, really strong. Joe, I've been hitting the track, man. The diet bet has propelled me back into the game. Did mile repeats yesterday. Now, they were slow. I mean, you're looking at, I only did two of them. 7:50 pace for the first one and 7:40 pace for the second one. And it took a lot to get that done. Let me tell you, getting my old fat ass, 50-year-old face moving around the track is not easy. 2-minute rest between. That was it. Done. Came home, Joe. P90X. Remember I told you I was going to start P90X? I did it yesterday. Now, you need to know, it's way different than 10 years ago. Oh, my God, is it different than 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I was hammering out pull-ups like you wouldn't believe and doing push-ups like Dean, like boring Dean. Oh, my God. Now I can't do a pull-up. I have to use those stretchy bands that they use at the hospital, like hospital tubing bands, those stupid things. And I'm exhausted. And then the push-ups I do, I have to do them from my knees. I can't do them like in any other way because I don't have the strength anymore. So it's really bad. But if you keep doing it, you can go like from your knees to like a regular push-up, and you can go like from the stretchy bands if you keep doing it. So that's the plan. That is the plan. And you also need to know, diet bet is still a thing. In fact, we are less than 2 weeks away from diet bet ending. And I know there's like 50 some of you on diet bet. And I haven't heard too much scuttle about it. But you need to know, Diana and I, her more than me, are kicking diet bet's ass. We're going to win our money back. And my goal is to win your money back. So keep eating. Eat, eat, eat. Sit still. Watch TV. And eat your face off so that we can take home the cheddar. If it ended right now, we would both be winners. She's down 12. 12. And when you're little to begin with, I mean, she was supposed to lose, like, I think the total, because she's so small to begin with, her total, her 4% was like 5 pounds, not even. She's down 12. Oh, my God. We were comparing fupas yesterday. Great stuff. Hey, look at your fupa. Look at my fupa. I am down 10.5. Uh-huh. Yep, I feel it. And Jackie says to me, she goes, Dad, you look a little thinner. Oh, that music to my ears. Fantastic. Diet bet rocks. We, yesterday, made the best damn chaffles we've had. The best one. I'll see if I can remember it off the top of my head. 2 eggs, teaspoon of cinnamon, 2 tablespoons of almond flour, which I didn't know was a thing, teaspoon of baking powder, not baking soda, baking powder, 1 cup of mozzarella cheese, and it calls for 3 tablespoons of blueberries, which is kind of weird. They're just like all stacked in the little thing. We put like 6 tablespoons. I like a lot of blueberries. I'm like, this is going to be awesome. I mean, it was, it's every time I'm like, I mix it up and I'm like, there's no way this is going to turn out. How can egg, cheese, cinnamon, almond powder, baking powder, and blueberries turn into something this fantastic? Poured it into the little Dash waffle chaffle maker, waffle chaffle. Man, 2.5 minutes later, pop it out of there. Just bliss. Absolute decadence. Something that tastes that good should not be that guilt-free. I'm telling you, this is the way to go. We have been eating like a king and a queen. And I'm like thinking I'm eating an actual waffle, but it's not. Today we try the Chaffle Big Mac. Shit you not. We're going to make Big Mac hamburgers. 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a chaffle. You know what? I should do this live or record it so that you can see the unboxing of well, it's not an unboxing, but it's how it goes the first time. I already had great success showing you the one chaffle video. I think this needs to happen. Damn it. I'm stoked about the chaffle. In Michigan, I don't know if you know this. Well, I know this. And I had a hunch that this was happening. And it turns out it is. Several businesses are open that are smart about it. You know who are the stupid idiots? Are the ones who open up and then run to the news station and make a big stink about it. Barbershop guy who defiantly said, I'm open. Cadillac chick beauty salon who ran to the TV station and said, I'm open. Look, I'm a patriot. I'm oppressing tyranny. Stupid drive-in showing Smokey and the Bandit. Hey, we're open. That's not the way to do it. Just open. Eliminate the, hey, everybody, we're open, and you'll be fine. And I'm pretty sure that the government, meaning the governor, probably expects this. But what they don't, let's say you've got your business and you're in an area that is all shut down. I would agree with you that by now, people got it when it comes to how we need to behave. They understand. I believe that. I honestly do. So I'm giving you a little bit. I've had a hardline stance on this for some time. But at the same time, this is a gradual thing. And gradually, Michigan has become a beacon of flattening the curve in terms of how to do it. They've done an excellent job. People have been kicking and screaming the whole time, but it's worked. So now it's starting to relax a little. And there are businesses, whether you know it or not, in this area where I live, which is supposed to be all closed, that are opening. I talked to more than one of them in the past day. I found this out. And I'm not going to say who they are, but I know for a fact that they are. They told me themselves and they're smart about it. So I guess my point is, if they are smart about it and they practice social distancing and they do what they can and treat their customers right and don't make a big dramatic deal about the fact that you're open, I'm guessing you can open. Now, is there anything that can happen if I tell you to break the law? No. I mean, I don't give a shit. I'm not on a radio station. It's not like anything bad can happen to me. But if you have a place, be smart about it and fucking open up. I don't give a shit. Some of these places that would no doubt get in trouble. In fact, I know one, I shouldn't say get in trouble. This business did not get in trouble. This business in particular, the person who runs the business told me that a cop was actually involved in it and turned an absolute blind eye. Now, it could be anywhere because these orders are in any state. I don't want to give too much information, but this actually happened. So just so you know, as all states to some degree today will be open, Michigan will be open in the north. But that's only a small percentage of the population. It's going to be turning around more and more as the days progress. So hang in there. Quit being an asshole. Everything's going to be okay. Oh, speaking of being an asshole, last night was the downtown Grand Rapids was where they were being assholes. They're having a Say Yes to Death rally with some of Michigan's fattest and most ugly. So they, as I talked about this yesterday, were infiltrating and really grossing up Rosa Parks Circle. I talked about this with Stu McAllister on the Patreon yesterday. And what's funny is 99% of the people that were there at Rosa Parks Circle probably don't know who Rosa Parks was. And you better be best believe that anybody that was there to say, well, this is a freedom rally, wasn't the same skin color as Rosa Parks either. So you got all these Michigan militia scumbags and other assholes carrying on like a bunch of dicks at this rally. This is how it went yesterday.
Off the top, hundreds of protesters gathered in downtown Grand Rapids to denounce the governor's stay-at-home orders. They did so with the support of a West Michigan sheriff who says the orders go too far.
This sheriff from Barry County, he looks like a guy who might raise and lower the curtain on like a high school play and in his free time rapes kids. You got to get a look at this guy.
News 8's Leon Hendricks has this story from Rosa Parks Circle.
Flags held high and posters too.
Leon is the only black guy other than one other dude that they talked to.
Rosa Parks Circle in downtown Grand Rapids was the scene of another protest tonight against Governor Gretchen Whitmer's executive orders. Tonight's keynote speaker, Sheriff Dar Leaf from Barry County.
Dar Leaf. My God.
We're not stupid, Governor. Can you hear us?
I mean, this guy really looks stupid. I mean, seriously.
We know what to do. Open us up. Come on.
Are we going to go back to work and accept the COVID as it comes? Or are we going to sit back?
And this is Barry County. So Dar Leaf, I mean, in order to be a sheriff in Barry County, you got to have like a third-grade education to begin with.
Let the economy crash and still have the COVID come.
Senate Majority Leader Mike Shirkey was also here after making comments calling some protesters in Lansing jackasses. Today, he led the crowd in song. And clarified
It just falls so short to me to hear him doing this.
his remarks.
I called certain people at a protest that were acting like jackasses. I didn't see a jackass here today.
I did. I saw plenty. In fact, there's one standing behind him. There's some dude standing behind Shirkey wearing his tax shit. His hair's everywhere. He's got like an earpiece in. He thinks he's Secret Service. These rallies are the ideal place for a guy in local community who drives around in fake cop car. It's these assholes. They all get together in one spot. It would have been a perfect opportunity to just basically hose them all down and be done with it.
People are protesting to be...
And the women, some of the ugliest women that I've ever seen in my life are at this protest. They should all be on mini bikes in the Guinness Book of World Records.
...seen and get attention and brandishing their weapons illegally. Those are jackasses.
So, yeah, Shirkey's talking about the jackasses who are waving a gun around. None of these jackasses are brandishing, but they've got their guns on them. And it's so stupid to see it. I hate it. As a responsible gun owner, it bums me out when I see these intimidation tactics by these pieces of shit.
People who are protesting to hold the government accountable, they aren't jackasses.
Yes, they are.
Also present, heavily...
Hold the government accountable. These idiots have spent so much time since COVID assuming that she's doing this to try to hurt them. And it couldn't be further from the truth. But you can't... You can say this till you're blue in the face, and they won't understand it. They won't get it.
Armed militia members who've come under fire for their role in protests past.
This guy you're about to hear, I've seen him at every one. He's jobless. He collects money from the state, and that comes to me from inside information that emailed me. He doesn't even have a job. All he does is collects money from the state, dresses up in Ted Nugent cosplay, and shows up at shit like this.
Just to make sure that everybody had a right to peacefully assemble and safely.
Do you see why some might say they feel intimidated when they see someone carrying the weaponry that you are?
I can understand that, but come talk to me. Come find out what I'm about before you pass judgment.
Tonight,
No, I don't want to talk to you. I take one look at you, and I'm going to pass judgment. You're a loser.
Distinguishing themselves from other armed protesters with faces covered. They say they aren't part of their cause.
So they're not part of the militia?
No, not to my knowledge.
But people assume that they were because
they were carrying guns, yes, absolutely. It's a misperception.
I hate you.
Among the crowd, a few here in support of the orders.
There's a dude sitting there in a lawn chair, and he's got a sign, and he's not saying, he's just saying it where he's just holding a sign that says, "You're acting like children." Takes a lot of balls. I'd be worried about one of these dumb hillbillies knocking him out of his chair and beating him down.
You're actually saving people's lives. More people are worried.
This is the other black guy there, Leon, and this guy.
About economics.
The protest comes the same day Governor Gretchen Whitmer further relaxed her stay-at-home orders in northern Michigan.
If I'm Whitmer, she relaxed the order, and then the rally happened. And then if the rally happened, I'd say, you know what, I take it back. Northern Michigan's closed now, and the Upper Peninsula because of the rally. And for every day that there's a rally, it's one more day. That's why I would be a terrible governor. I wouldn't be able to separate, what actually needs to be done from the emotional response to these morons. I would be the worst governor ever. I'd be the worst president ever because I would be looking for a pound of flesh from these idiots.
Still, not enough for those gathered here tonight.
The governor has been.
All right, now this guy, he doesn't even speak English, and he sounds like he's drunk. Wait to hear him.
Governor Gretchen Whitmer further relaxed her stay-at-home orders in northern Michigan. Still, not enough for those gathered here tonight.
The governor has been.
ruling by diktat almost. That seems against the traditions of this country.
Great. So we're talking to some foreigner who's illiterate and drunk.
I am very leery of people who say they're taking my health in their control.
This is some other local fat whore who is making a big deal.
That seems against the traditions of this country.
I am very leery of people who say they're taking my health in their
nice boobs.
In terms of the protests I've covered so far on this matter, this was the most significant police presence I saw at one of these. There were a number of Grand Rapids police officers on bike, horseback, and on foot here, though we saw no police action.
Just ran the horses right through them a few times, like Game of Thrones, Battle of the Bastards style, and see how that worked out.
Take place, things remain peaceful. But the protesters vow to continue holding events like this to spread their message of displeasure about the governor's orders until they are lifted. Another protest is set for Wednesday in Lansing.
There you go.
We are reporting in Grand Rapids. Leon Hendricks, News 8.
Leon never responds to my texts because he's smart. He knows that if he texts back, I will then have his response to my absurd suggestion. But I texted Leon yesterday. Said, Leon, it's Eric, in case you've deleted my contact. Please be advised that I'm asking, for the record, that you punch one of these idiots in the face or kick them in the balls when you are interviewing them. Please be safe. Signed, Eric. No response. Probably a good move on Leon's part. Oh, man. All right. Coming up, Dr. Trump is at it again. Bust out the fish tank cleaner. Here we go. I do cameos. Father's Day is fast approaching. Would you hire me? You should hire me for a fun cameo for Father's Day, okay? If you know someone who's a dad and likes the show, even if they don't like the show, that would be fun. Hire me on Cameo to wish the father in your life a happy Father's Day. The father in your life or the father of your kids. So the 6 or 7 ladies that listen to the show, that would be fun. You can do it cameo.com/Eric Zane. I've got a realtor on the show, and it is the Steffes Group of Keller Williams Realty. Online at thesteffesgroup.com. 616-293-8298. My God, congrats to one of the Zaniacs. I don't want to say the name because, not everybody likes me to just talk about personal shit, but one of the Zaniacs just bought a dream house, and I am so happy for this person. Well done, and did it through Henry. Thank you very much for calling upon the sponsor of the show with stuff like that. The Steffes Group of Keller Williams Realty. Henry is meticulous and so thorough when it comes to listing your home and then finding a new one for you. You're going to love him. I'm telling you. Call him up, 616-293-8298. He's got a terrific staff, and he wants to work for you. And, don't just take my word for it. Go ahead and do your diligence. Interview a few people, but I'm telling you, you're going to love Henry. 616-293-8298. Meanwhile, Blue Frost IT, 616-200-8550, the managed IT service provider for the show. Okay? If your company needs IT repair and you can't afford an IT a specialist, you've got one. You might not be able to have one on the payroll, but Blue Frost IT makes it so that small and medium-sized businesses can have that luxury. All you got to do is get an estimate as to how much it's going to cost you. 616-200-8550, online at bluefrostit.com. They sponsor my Twitter, too, at Eric Zane Show. Periscope video on there brought to you by Blue Frost IT. A lot of you folks have your businesses at home. Your employees are at home, and they're going to stay that way. So, that laptop that they're using is like getting strained to the max. You might want to have Blue Frost IT check out your employees' gear, okay? The hourly fixed rate is cut in half during the pandemic, too. That is a great deal, 616-200-8550. And last but not least for this spot segment is A&D Cleaning. My gosh, have Amy Porter get to your house and clean up that house, man, 616-550-3644. She's taking calls right now for your openings. And with openings that she has for you as she's getting set to get back to work right now, 616-550-3644. All right, Trump, from the get-go, has been like, yeah, he heard like 1 second's worth of information a month and a half ago about hydroxychloroquine. And he's like, yeah, what do you got to lose? Everybody start taking the hydroxychloroquine. Okay, this is a malaria drug that was thought to help people with COVID-19. And it was a pretty hot story for a small amount of time. So, who knows? I guess no one really knows. I've heard conflicting reports. I've heard some say that if you take it, it could harm you. It could cause a heart arrhythmia, which could lead to a heart attack if you take it when you're not supposed to. And I've also heard that it actually does help, or it could help. And if you take it and it doesn't help, you're not really out anything. So I think that the truth is somewhere in the middle. One thing I do know, that you're not supposed to see a household chemical or a fish tank cleaner that says that it contains hydroxychloroquine and drink it down like Kenny drinking gin and juice during Fear Bunker Trivia.
Nice boobs.
Binging. Binging. Let's go. Let's go.
You're not supposed to do that.
Nice boobs.
Remember that? That guy died. He died, and then he goes, here, honey, I'm going to save your life. Keep us from getting it. And they didn't even have it. He drinks it down. Makes her drink it. He's dead. She might have died. I don't know. And then the world tried to blame Trump on that deal. I didn't believe that shit at all, by the way. That was Trump's fault. It was just stupid people who probably better off. It's better off for the world that they're actually dead. You don't want those people polluting the gene pool. It's a horrible thing to say, but it's freaking true. All right, then Trump went down the road of saying that stupid bit about the fucking injecting bleach to clean the lungs, and he's got his doctors working on it, and I don't believe for 1 second that Trump was being sarcastic. Do you remember Trump said, oh, yeah, I was pulling a fast one on you guys. It was bullshit. It was the dumbest thing in the world. I don't believe for a second that he was being sarcastic. I believe he was just thinking out loud, and it was a dumb thing to say. But he's not going to say that. Well, all right. So then, everybody's like drinking bleach. Like, actually, there was a big spike in people for the what do you call it? The poison control. And the Trump made me put this shit in my body. It's fucked up. So if I'm Trump, I don't ever talk about anything medicinal for as long as I live. Never, ever should Trump talk about his medical care. A week and a half later, he's talked about his medical care. Trump has revealed that he is taking fish cleaner to prevent COVID-19. He's not drinking the fish cleaner. That's my own fake news. Fake news. He said he's taking hydroxychloroquine. And this is him speaking frankly about it.
A lot of good things have come out about the hydroxy. A lot of good things have come out.
Yeah, that guy who drank fish tank cleaner who's dead.
And you'd be surprised at how many people are taking it, especially the frontline workers, before you catch it. I happen to be taking it. Hydroxychloroquine. Right now, yeah.
Now, all the reporters are like, you are? They're all like buzzing over this. They can't wait to talk to him about it.
A couple of weeks ago, I started taking it. Because I think it's good. I've heard a lot of good.
Why? Because I want to die. What a stupid question. Why are you taking it? Well, everywhere he turns around in the White House, somebody's got friggin' COVID. Why do you think he thinks he needs to take it? It was a stupid question.
Stories. And if it's not good, I'll tell you right.
He's basing it on he's heard good stories.
I'm not going to get hurt by it. It's been around for 40 years for malaria, for lupus, for other.
You don't have those things.
I take it. Frontline workers take it. A lot of doctors take it. I take it.
All right. So he's taking it. And the president's doc did say that he did sign off on it, but who knows? Again, I think the truth is somewhere in the middle. But if you're Trump, why? Why do you do this? I mean, the first time you spoke about it, within minutes, Dude was chugging the fucking Tetramin fish tank cleaner. 18 seconds after you said inject the bleach, half of America was dead because they were drinking bleach. And now here you are saying that you're popping hydroxychloroquine like you're eating it out of a Pez dispenser. When are you going to learn? What we need to do is forget diet bet. It's going to be a bet online of when someone is going to die from something Trump said. The clock is ticking after this latest salvo of Dr. Trump weighing in on medical care. Just stop it. What is wrong with you? Nancy Pelosi, who is looking weirder by the minute, I can't quite place what she looks like. But when she gets surprised or she expresses herself, she opens her eyes wide and those weirdo eyebrows go, wait, have you seen these pictures of her? She looks like a really bad-looking robot, and I can't place it. What movie have I seen that from? I actually spent a little bit of time today because I'm about to play a clip from her in which she takes a shot at Trump. Okay? Pelosi, I don't know, what the fuck does she look like? She looks like some weirdo robot. I can't place it. And not the one. At first I thought she looked like the hot robot from Mars Attacks, but it's not that. Maybe somebody can help me out here on the Facebook comments or an email, eric@ericzaneshow.com. Pelosi was with Anderson Cooper, and she was talking about him, and she got in a crack about his appearance. Check it out.
As far as the president is concerned, he's our president, and I would rather he not be taking something that has not been approved by the scientists, especially in his age group and in his, shall we say, weight group, what is morbidly obese.
Nice boobs.
So I think it's not a good idea.
She said the president was morbidly obese. And I know a little bit about obesity. I actually had a class on obesity. And I think that, when I hear morbidly obese, it's like guy in a scooter at Walmart who can't move. He's fat, but is he morbidly obese? But she definitely took aim at him. And here she is again. Let's back up on that clip because.
As far as the president is concerned, he's our president, and I would rather he not be taking something.
That's a lie. She wants him to take it. In fact, she wants him to drink the fish tank cleaner and wash it down with bleach.
It has not been approved by the scientists, especially in his age group and in his, shall we say, weight group, what is morbidly obese, they say. So
nice boobs, Tyler.
Think it's not a good idea.
All right, there you go. We shall see. I wouldn't take it. I would just take it easy. Try not to do. If the president gives you medical advice, do the opposite. That's my suggestion at this point. Hey, my Patreon, the show is coming up a little bit later on. We've got more to talk about, including did Ryan freaking Seacrest have a stroke? There is evidence. There is audio evidence. And there is visual evidence that Ryan Seacrest may have had a stroke. Sarah Honda Granville, and that is going to be on Patreon, patreon.com/Eric Zane. Sarah Honda Granville, I want you to call them up at 616-667-4517. If you're worried, you can't buy a car because of social distancing and they're closed down. They're not. They're open. And they're killing it, okay? Buy a car from Sarah Honda Granville. The lot is full. You can walk around the lot. You say, hey, man, that Accord looks great. I want it. Social distancing is in place for all the paperwork. Let's say you're still worried like you can't do it. They'll deliver a car to your door. 616-667-4517. Paperwork is done outdoors. They've got outdoor venues set up like little tents and stuff like that. You're all good. You're safe. Buy a car. SarahHondaGranville.com. I want you to learn how to shoot a pistol, and I want you to be able to conceal it, okay? Surprise the bad guy. You're not surprising the bad guy if you wear that dumb thing on your hip. All you do is you look like one of these Michigan militia crackpots. Hide your damn gun. In order to hide your pistol, you got to have a CPL. You can't get a CPL unless you're certified. Retired U.S. Army Major Steve Prince teaches the class in West Michigan. He's got one going on June 4th. That's a Thursday in the evening. And then on Saturday, June 6th, is the back half of the class. 616-204-1705. And last for today, but certainly not least, Riverbend Body Shop. Yeah, 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 yeah. Now you can take the car there and get an estimate, no problem. Everybody's wearing a mask. It's all good. Business as usual, no problem. But if you're scared, all right, you can just text your damage into them at 616-319-4830. Include the VIN on the text. They'll send you an estimate. Or go to their website, riverbendbodyshop.com. Click on the portal. You can post everything there. It's all being done online. I love these businesses that have turned the corner and are able to conduct their business as usual, but via the online platform. Those of you that aren't doing that, oh, my God, I pray for you. Hell, you should have been doing it 10 years ago. That would have had you prepared for this pandemic, and it will have you prepared for the next one. All right, tomorrow on the show, I should say tomorrow during the day at 6 o'clock, Instagram, I take it back, 7 o'clock tomorrow, Instagram Instant Trivia Challenge, brought to you by Little Debbie's from MB Distributing Incorporated and Baldwin Ace Hardware. At 7 a.m., you got to have your phone ready to go, and you got to make sure that the notifications are on for the people that you follow. Follow me, Eric Zane, on Instagram. Just search Eric Zane Show, Eric Zane, and follow me because I'm going to go live at 7, and then whoever has populated it, let's say it's 15 of you. I click on a random one. I ask you a trivia question. You got 5 seconds to answer it. You get it wrong, you're out. I go to the next one. We do that a few times. If nobody wins, it rolls over to the next day. Instant Trivia Challenge on Instagram. It's going to be so much fun. Little Debbie from MB's Distributing Inc. and Baldwin Ace Hardware bring it to you. You're going to win a $10 gift card if you get it right. If you don't, it rolls over to the next week. Another great way to interact with you and build the pot, but you got to be on Instagram. You'll know when I go live. Just follow me. Have your phone in your hand. Wednesday, 7 p.m. I got a video that I need you to see. And by the way, everything I talk about on the show, as you know, I posted to the In the News portion of ericzaneshow.com. And if you're on the audio podcast, I highlight it in the show notes. You won't believe how many times I get people reaching out to me saying, hey, where can I find that story? It's like, well, like I tell you, you got to keep telling people so they know. It's right at those spots. If I ever forget it, let me know, and I'll send you a link directly. Yesterday, I told you that Joe Hickett's Grand Rapids Griffins / Detroit Red Wing hockey player, in his hometown of Kamloops, the Canadian version of the Thunderbirds, known as the Snowbirds, took off to do the same thing that they were doing here in West Michigan when the Thunderbirds fly over. The Snowbirds take off, and one of the frickin' Snowbirds, what the hell happened? We don't know, but the plane crashed, and there was 2 pilots. I don't know if it's a pilot and a navigator. You know, they sit front to back, and it crashed, and the guy died. The pilot died. Horrible. Went down in a neighborhood. Well, the neighborhood was Joey Hickett's brother, his younger brother, I believe, and the other pilot ejected, okay, and he's flying through the air, and the chute kind of goes off, but not really. And the dude comes crashing down onto a roof. And the roof was directly across the street from Hickett's brother. Oh, my God. And I was like, I couldn't believe it. I told you about this. I got video. I've got video of Joey Hickett's brother walking down the street shooting video of a pilot on the roof in the chair, like fucking Daryl Stingley, on top of the roof with like the first responders there, like attending to him because he could be badly hurt. They don't want to move him. And it's only a glimpse of a shot, but you can see the guy on the freaking roof who flew out of the Snowbird plane. Remarkable. Go to my website, ericzaneshow.com, in the news if you want to see that. Or I'll post it in the links of the show notes. And you can see for yourself. I was talking with Gil Murray from Baldwin Ace Hardware, and we all get together. Usually it's Tickets, Pumple, Gil Murray, and me for Hockey Heaven podcast. And there's been a running joke that Joey is Mr. Nosy. Like, if there's something wrong with a Zamboni, you'll see Joe Hicketts, like, trying to fix it, and he's, like, bossing people around. If there's a hole in the ice because the Zamboni went too deep, he's trying to fix the ice. He's telling the ice crew what to do. Gil Murray says, ask Joey if he had his own police tape there and was taking charge of the entire thing. That would have been absolutely right up his alley. This song is called Blue Water Green from John's band Grubhub, or Grubbish, or whatever it is. I don't know. Oh, look at that. We were lean and mean today. Little shorts. Zane, normally you go way long. What are you doing? I don't know. I got nothing else to talk about. I don't want to waste your time. But I got more on the Patreon. Like I said, Ryan Seacrest, did that fucker have a stroke? It looked like it did to me, man. It was all strokey. Face, sound, and then he doesn't show up to work. We'll talk about that on the Patreon. This podcast is powered by you. Thank you. If you want to advertise, reach out to me, Eric at ericzaneshow.com. I got two new sponsors next week. Woo! Thank you, folks. We'll talk to you down the road. Bye-bye.
Nice boobs, Tyler.
Let's go!
Nice boobs, Tyler.
Wow. Okay, that's really ignorant.
Facebook Live.
I mean, without hop, want to be fucked? I'll be fucked.
Andrea, put your tits away.
We should have just... Andrea, put your tits away.
What the fuck happened?
Hey. This really sucks. Get drunk before everything closes.
This virus ain't that serious.